everyone, Monique here, and I guess with all this staying at home, or even if your kids are going back to school, if you have young ones, if you have children who are in grade school, who are a little bit older, they are always bound to get into conflict. So today we're going to talk about how we can help them resolve conflict. Before we talk about what we can do to help them through conflict, let's maybe go over some of the things that maybe we've been doing. I know I've been doing them too. Even until now, even if I know what I should be doing, sometimes I fall into doing things that I shouldn't be doing. And the first thing that really we can try to avoid is labeling our children. So when they're fighting over a toy, when they, for example, give in to their impulse and say something that is not so very nice to their brother or to their friend, sometimes we can maybe fall into the trap and say, that is a very mean thing to do, or you are being very mean to your brother. And that's labeling and something that we shouldn't be doing to our children. Another thing to avoid when we're helping children through conflict is rescuing them. So telling them what they should be doing to resolve the conflict. For example, they're fighting over a toy and you say, okay, Rafael can use the toy for 5 minutes, and then after 5 minutes, you can have a turn with the toy. And that's solving the problem for them, and really we're not helping them get through the conflict themselves. Another thing to avoid are illogical consequences. So we had a video before about logical consequences, and that was a funny one because I had my husband act on it, so it would be nice for you to go and check it out. But illogical consequences are when we give them a consequence or an effect of what they're doing that's not really related to the action or to what they've been doing. For example, if they were trying to use a toy, they were fighting over a toy, it's illogical for you to take it away. For example, saying, if you don't learn how to share, then I will take the toy away, or I will take the ball away. But that's not really teaching them how to get through the conflict. You are giving them a consequence it's illogical. They want to play with a ball, so why will you take it away just because they don't know how to share it? So what do we do instead? So again, this is for siblings, even for friends who come over for play dates, and especially now that most of the time we're home, if your children are doing online schooling, then the tendency is tensions are often high because we're always with each other. There's not enough space to breathe. So when our children get into conflicts, what can we do? So more helpful ways to guide your children through conflict is to, one, observe and to clarify. Instead of what we talked about earlier about labeling our children and saying that is a mean thing to do, or you've been mean to your brother, take a step back and really look at what's happening in the situation and ask questions. So maybe clarify what happened, and instead of saying who started this, you could say, can you tell me what happened? Can you walk me through what happened with you and your brother? Clarifying gives your children a chance to even think about for themselves, take a step back and pause, because they're in the height of, feeling upset and getting into a squabble with their sibling or with their friend. So when you ask them questions, it also allows them, it prompts them to take a pause and to think about the situation that they're in, what got them there, how they're feeling, what they did to get into that situation. And again, giving them that prompt also teaches them that, oh, when I'm in conflict with somebody else, even outside my house, this is what I need to do. I need to clarify, I need to ask questions about what's going on so I can really understand the root cause of the conflict. Next thing to do once you've clarified the situation, once you know what's going on, is to acknowledge the feelings. So tendency is, especially for much younger children, or actually even for older children, even for my girls, tensions will be high. There will be a lot of feelings and big feelings at that. I always talk about this in past videos, acknowledging feelings, because it's so very important for our children to feel validated. Why are they feeling so negative? Because they're not able to get what they want, for example, the toy, but also because they probably feel like they're not being listened to. They don't have a space to express themselves and to express their feelings. So acknowledging their feelings and saying, for example, I know you feel upset because you want to play with the toy, or I know you feel upset because she grabbed the toy from you, or it seems like you're feeling frustrated because you can't have a turn just yet. allows your children to feel, okay, I'm being listened to, then it takes away some part of the pain or some part of the hurt just being recognized. I mean, even as adults, sometimes we don't really need people to solve our problems. We just need people to recognize how we're feeling, or to say, okay, I can see you're mad. I don't need you to solve my problems. I don't need you to tell me what to do, but I just need somebody to listen and somebody to acknowledge and to recognize that I'm feeling that way. So that's another thing that we can do with our children, is to acknowledge what they're feeling. So now we have observed, we've clarified, we know what's going on, we've acknowledged their feelings, we know where they're at, we know what our children are the emotions that they're in, their emotional state that they're in. So the next thing to do is to empower them to solve. So again, what we said earlier about not doing, we do not rescue them. We do not tell them what to do or how to solve the conflict, but we instead empower them. So again, we ask questions. We say, what do you think we can do in this situation? How do you think we can solve the problem? How do you think we can help your brother feel better at the same time you feel better? And with my children, we always talk about win-win. Win-win happens when both parties are feeling good, when both parties are happier at the end of a situation or at the end of a conflict. So I would ask my children, what do you think is a win-win in this situation? What can we do to make your brother feel better? What can you do to give him what he needs and give yourself what you need? And wait for them to come up with solutions. And sometimes their solutions are actually things that you probably have never even thought of. And so encourage that. Listen into what they have to say, articulate for them if you have to articulate, meaning if you think that what they're verbalizing to you is not clear enough, then maybe supply them with the words, but really trying to understand what they want to tell you and supply them with the words for it, but not really putting words in their mouth. So again, we want to empower them to feel that I can solve this conflict on my own, so that when they get outside, when they're in school, when they're much older, when they're teenagers, they know what to do, the steps to clarify what's going on in the situation, to acknowledge what they're feeling and what other people are feeling, and then to maybe get into a conversation with their friends to negotiate and find a solution to the problem without having to run to you or to other adults all the time. There you have it, quick and easy. So how do we help our children solve their conflicts? We observe and we clarify, we acknowledge their feelings, and we empower them to come up with the solutions on their own. So we're not just helping them get through the conflict so that they feel better, but we model to them how it is to get through conflicts or to solve conflicts on their own when they're much older. Thank you again for being with me today. My name is Monique. Please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing to Monique's Home. Please visit us on Instagram at Monique's Home, and also visit our website www.moniqueshome.com so that you can also join in on our learning journey in our homeschool. We have a lot of activity sheets and worksheets and play ideas both on our Instagram and on the website. I will see you next time. Remember to make every day your own version of extraordinary.